like, you know how frugal I am. So I turned off the heat and I have a kerosene heater. I just threw that in my living room and just heated my house.
Okay, well,
Because I'm
you
so
do what
frugal.
you gotta do.
I'm like, fuck that electric bill.
Yeah, I've got my heat turned down to about 63, and I'm chilly in here tonight. But it's been raining, and so it's kind of wet and damp, that kind of a chill, like you guys have all the time.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
it just kind of gets to you after a bit. But
Well, we don't wake up like in Wyoming, you wake up with like a foot of snow. We wake up with a foot of leaves.
Yes.
It's just so many leaves. I just
Yeah.
can't. We have to mulch like every day.
Oh,
It's so
goodness.
bad. It's so bad. And then I have ground moles. Like my yard has ground moles. So I have like this like weird pattern of lifted ground.
Hmm.
And Apollo goes crazy when he goes outside. He's like, "What is that? I need that." So, so he's
He's
like
being
chasing them
protective.
down.
He's being
Is
protective of your
he's
place.
saving me from the moles? The mole people, they live underground.
Yeah. Well, I've
You wanted to go on rants. I have yet to hear a rant.
well, I was waiting. I was being polite and letting
Well,
you talk
fuck
about your
politeness.
stuff.
Let's jump into. I want to see. I've never seen Star go on a rant.
Well, I don't know if it would be much of a rant or not. It might be, but the past 2 weeks have just been this whirlwind of turmoil that you said it earlier. Turmoil is what we got.
Yeah.
Uh, my aunt and uncle, um, they have 3 boys, and they've lost 2 this year. And their third son now has gone into hospice for brain tumors.
Oh no.
And she's uh, getting on up there. He's on up there, and they've already buried 2 boys, and now they're preparing to bury a third. You know, and we were all close when we were growing up, me and the boys, and we played together, and we were close to the same age. And one of them, the first, was killed in an automobile accident right before Christmas last year. And then the other, which was closer to my age, he and I actually ran around together a lot when we were younger. And he chose a different path than I chose. And he decided to get into drugs, and he was in prison for a long time. And I could have chosen that path too, but I did not.
Kind of. You kind of did. You worked in, juvenile
Yeah.
detention center.
I well,
You were
I
just on
was
the
on the
other side of the
outside
gate.
of the bars, but they found him in his yard in, I believe it was May or June. Um, OD'd.
That's so
Um,
sad.
and now the last one is in a nursing home, in hospice. And it's, I don't know where it's God. That's the only place that I can say they're getting their strength from, to be able to handle the pain that they're going through.
Well, I mean, faith and prayer, I believe, take
Oh, I do
you
too.
many places. Well, I mean, faith and prayer, I believe, take
Oh, I do
you
too.
many places.
Um, I like to play Red Dead 2, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah.
I was on Sunday evening,
Okay.
and I was playing.
This is a video game.
Yes. And I was playing online, and I was going, for those that watch this, what you do. The trader role, you get your pelts and everything, and then you take them and sell them. Put them in a wagon, take them and sell them. And so I had this guy helping me. He was on my posse. Houndstooth is the posse. I love that name. Anyway,
You're such a lesbian.
yeah, no. Anyway, we made it about halfway there and we got attacked by another posse, 9 of them. And it wasn't just an attack. They stole the wagon. That's part of the game. They kill you. That's part of the game. I get that. But they came in and I fought back and he fought back, my partner. We're fighting back and they were a whole lot better than us. I'm not very good, but I like to try and play. And then they started pulling out the taunts and the words, and I don't get all of that, especially coming from a somewhat abusive background with
Right. And,
somebody.
ironically, I got the same thing today. I play this game on my phone, and you know me, I'm not big on the video games. So if I find a game that I like, I will play it. And I've played it, and I've gotten pretty far in this game, and it's not quite like Red Dead Redemption. I mean, it's a storyline game, and you build. It's called Legend of Empress. It's a
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great game. I enjoy it, and I'm in a faction, and we just have fun. We don't attack anybody. We just do our thing.
And see, that's what I do on there. I don't attack anybody. I just play the game.
Yeah, we just do our thing, and most of the other factions know to leave us alone. We don't do anything. We just play. We want to play. That's all we want to do. We don't want to lose everything. So I woke up this morning and I signed on. And man, I got my ass handed to me last night while I was asleep, and I have no idea why. And I messaged the person who continuously, even while I was signing on, was still attacking me over and over and over, way higher than me and way better than me in anything. I just play casually. This person obviously plays competitively, is way spends actual human money on this crap. And I sent him a message and I'm like, why do you do this? I'm way below you. Why would you do this? Well, you attacked my whatever friend. And I'm like, I don't attack anybody. I have no way of attacking. I don't even understand how that works. And yes, you did. And then just continuously, and then started to name call and cuss. And I'm like, what? There is no reason for that. Absolutely none. Found out this person is like 12.
Yeah. Well, these guys, from the way they were talking, their voices were deep enough. I think they were in their early 20s, maybe somewhere in there, maybe late.
I don't know. I've heard some 16-year-olds who who could pass as like Tom Selleck.
Yeah.
or,
mustache and all.
Yeah, mustache and all. It's you got to be careful.
Yeah, and they just, it got to the point where they were, ass handed to me. And so finally I was like, okay, guys, I quit. I'm done. I give up.
You won. You won. You're fucking powerful. Walk away.
They kept going. And then the names started. The C word, called me a bitch, called me all different, stay down whore like you should, and all this kind of stuff. And was teabagging me, and and I know some of that stuff. If somebody is fighting you back and it's reciprocated, fine. I wasn't. I was like, I'm done, and they just kept doing this and I got triggered big time. All I could hear was this other person's voice in my head telling me, because they were saying, you're worthless, you're no good, why are you even on here? And I'm hearing this and I got triggered. And I couldn't get my headset to work because I wanted to get on there and start, getting back with them. That's how angry I was. I don't usually get that angry, but I'm glad angry.
You didn't. Because what would have done?
Well, it probably wouldn't have done anything.
Right, because
except get me
they're going to
kicked
be
even more.
shits because they want to be shits. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do. I mean, that's the thing that I've learned, especially when it comes to like gaming,
Mm-hmm.
uh, online chat groups. Because I'm in some online chat groups for different subjects, and
Yeah.
uh, if a conversation gets heated and a person just starts going nuts,
Mm-hmm.
I leave.
Yeah.
I'll just turn it off. Because the moment I start like calm down or you just need to take a breath, then they get even more hype. Like you just don't listen to me, and
Yeah.
my vagina has sand in it, and there's no bottle of water within the next 100 miles. Like it's not even a point.
Yeah,
And then
I
all you're
know.
going to do is get even more heated.
Right. And I've been in that training. I know how to walk away. I know how to keep a straight face. I know how to do those things, but I got triggered and I allowed myself to get very angry.
Yeah, I just remind myself that like this is a 10-year-old on the
Yeah.
other end. Like it's
Well,
like arguing with a drunk person. You'll never win.
yeah.
Like shut the fuck up and wait till they're sober.
Well, the day before, and I think one of the reasons it triggered me so bad was the day before I found out something um about one of my kids.
Okay.
Um that happened when they were like 6, 7 years old at the YMCA.
Okay.
They got pulled into the bathroom by an adult, a female, and she molested them in this bathroom. And they were screaming. And finally, somebody came in and got my kid out of there. But they didn't let me know. And the cops were not called. And I was pissed about that. And then I'm playing this game to relax. And that happens. I think that's why I got so triggered.
Well, I mean, you were already peaked, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're already peaked,
Yeah.
and now you've got these little punks calling you names.
And I think that's why I didn't back down. I didn't back off. I just kept going with them because I was, and then the name calling and the sexual stuff that they were doing. They must be modders because they had modified it to the point where they could do they could bend me over and do what they wanted to on there.
That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. So that's,
But
there's,
are you telling me? So you're telling me that in this game,
yes,
they can actively rape you in this game because they have altered the game on their end?
yes.
How is that?
Well, it's happened to me on GTA too. On GTA 5, I play that on there occasionally. I don't like to play online because there are some people on there that they don't care about your boundaries. They don't care how old you are. It could be a little kid that's playing as an adult, and they do that to them.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Where are the servers on this? Why aren't they monitoring this shit?
Well, they're supposed to be doing it better. They've come out with some new things. I mean, to the point where they take every privilege you've got away. You can't even get on there and play anything. But yeah, it has been very stressful in that way. I spoke with my therapist today, and we came to that. We talked about that, just walking away. And then I told my therapist about what my kid told me. And she was like, well, yeah, that pushed you over the edge. And I'm like, yeah, it did. And because I never throw anything. I don't, because everything I've got, I got to take care of. It's got to last me. I threw my headset. I threw my I threw my controller. I flipped my chair over. I mean, I was pissed. But it was all that stuff deep down inside that I still need healing with.
Right.
Because you can think you're over it until something happens because I thought, okay, I've dealt with this. It's been years, and
But is there
almost
really
20
a
years.
point of over it? Or is it just a placement of tolerance? Because, and the only reason why I ask that is because there are people that I know who have, and myself included, who have dealt with things that are tyrannical and just horrible. And we move on and we live life like nothing ever happened, but something happens and it comes back, and that's something that pops in your mind. And so do you
Immediately you
ever
think, I've
really
dealt
get
with
over
this.
it, or do you really just learn to cope with it and just deal? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's one thing I hate hearing when something happens and someone's like, well, it's been a year, get over it.
I know. And I've
What the
never,
fuck?
I've been told that before. My little dog, I had to have her put down many, many years ago, back in 96 or 7. And one day, months later, I just broke out in tears, and they were like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, I miss my dog. And you know me, I don't cry very easily. And
I cry at fucking Hallmark commercials.
I know.
I don't know what's wrong with me.
I have to be under a lot of
It's
stress.
the meds. It's the meds.
and that's what they
Fucking
told me.
meds.
It was just a dog. Get over it. It's like, okay.
No, I believe that with a certain point.
Yeah.
I don't believe that we should. I mean, if you can afford it, fucking do it. But I don't believe that if your dog gets cancer, you should put everything that you have into treating that dog's cancer.
Especially
it's going to
when you
die
haven't
in
got
5
enough
years.
money to put food on your own table.
Right. So that I get it. It's just a dog.
Yeah.
Love it. Let it go. But
Right.
it doesn't mean you can't miss it. It's a part
It
of your
doesn't mean
life.
you
It's
can't
a living
grieve
thing
and
that
miss
has
it.
touched you.
Yeah, everybody grieves in different ways, and it takes different processes, for each individual person. And I was still grieving.
I don't know if you know this, but in today's culture, if you don't fit the mold, you don't belong. So get over it.
Yeah.
I mean, really, look at Fauci. Look at all this fucking COVID bullshit.
Yeah.
We even got celebrities being canceled over this shit because they won't get over it.
Yeah.
Just get over it. I hate that.
Lay down and take it. That's another one of the things they told me on the game the other night. Just lay down and take it like a whore, like you're supposed to. It's like, huh?
Yeah, that's how you know these are fucking kids.
Yeah, they were definitely young, but they sounded like men. But
I can, baby, I can change my microphone and it can deepen my voice. It can put my voice to like helium.
True.
Like there's all kinds of stuff out there these kids have now. I'm
and to a lot of people, what I was telling you, they're like, oh, that's no big deal. And it may not be to some people, but when you've gone through that kind of trauma and then you hear those words and you're already frustrated, it just, I don't know, it just really pushed me.
No, I get it. I don't think it's the whole feminist, your toxic masculinity is destroying my life. or or that whole Me Too bullshit. It's just I think it's you're having a human reaction.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay.
Exactly. That's all it was. And there's men that go through that. There's women that go through. Look, I even got a zit.
No, you don't.
I do. See that thing right there?
That's not zit. It's a mole trying to come through.
Okay, it's red and it hurts.
I have a mole.
Yeah, it's just been stressful, and and anybody that watches our videos, I appreciate them so much for listening and putting up with us.
It's our bullshit rants.
Yeah. Oh my God.
My friend was watching them and he's like, I love your show. I wish we could say things like that on my show. And I was like, we don't care on my show.
We just don't flip a given.
We say what we want as my camera falls. See, that's what we do on our show.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us on this video that we made and listening to our rants and all that kind of good stuff. If you found something that you like, if you related to it in any way, please go and just knock the heck out of that like button, and then go right on over and subscribe. Hit the little bell notification. Do that thing. And we really appreciate all of you guys. See ya.